This isn't even their final form.
And we won't see that probably ever again.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And that's awesome to see.
No matter what, we're gonna be rich.
Yeah, okay. I see that.
It's certainly interesting.
Wait, what now?
Oh,
my
lethal.
God. Well then.
Oh my god.
They came in the right order too.
Rich. 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 Rich.
Oh yeah. Wait, what now? Oh yeah. Speaking of RIP, welcome to the semifinals of Season 5 Faction. THL, what is up? I just messed up because production value. There we go. I got back. We have all the news from the quarterfinals, what you need to look forward to in the semifinals, maybe some new predictions, maybe things stay the same. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we talk about it here live tonight. Our house rules for the evening, as always, feels anything, man, when you think a host is wrong, or that last rule there that I shall not go over. With me to my left, your right, sitting next to that beautiful picture of the bridge, Mr. D. Lyman. How you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing alright.
Oh, is that a new headset, or is that the one you've always had?
Same headset. I think you're distracted because I'm not dressed up this time.
Could be. I was really digging that outfit last week. I won't lie. There was a little cap of pride there, a little Veer pride. Mr. Mage, on your pile of potatoes, how are things going, man?
Pretty good. Pretty good. How are you guys?
I'm good, man. I tilted off a Hearthstone today, so you know it's a good day when you tilt off a Hearthstone.
You know the best way to avoid tilting off Hearthstone is to not play at all.
I was gonna say that. But I've been full star 6 5 times this season, and I just want to lock down those rank 5 rewards so I could be done with it. But I think I might have hit the point of giving up today, which I hear is the successful way to play and the correct way to play Hearthstone these days. But you know who isn't giving up on Hearthstone and is still playing is our semifinal teams. Where our guys this time next week, we will be talking about which one of 2 teams will be flying their flag forever in THL history, and we need to talk about how we got here. The quarterfinals, guys, didn't exactly go the way a lot of us thought it would go. Some teams kind of shocked the shit out of me, and I want to start talking about one of those in the Initium Novum Parallax matchup of last week. I believe as we went over this one, guys, we didn't give Parallax too much of a shot, and it turned out to be a nail-biter.
Yeah, I mean, Parallax has been looking rough over the past couple of weeks, and even from the beginning of the season, before they had such a strong season that they did, we didn't really have high hopes for them. But obviously they proved those high hopes wrong throughout the course of the regular season, but now I think that they're regressing back to the form that we thought they were going to have. And we can see that in week 1 of this playoffs.
So, to put this on one side or the other, do you think that this was a case of, oh God, I don't want to click that link right now. I don't know what that is, guys. There's links being posted in the Skype chat. I was gonna ask, do you think this is a case of in Initium Novum stealing points where they shouldn't have, or do you think this was Parallax dropping? Like, for instance, when I looked at the Houdini Wolfpack matchup, I know that's one we all had a lot of questions about last week, right? But I don't think any of us would honestly sit here and say that we didn't expect Houdini to at least come away with 1 or 2 points. Was I the only one taken aback by that, or have I been blindsided by Wolfpack by not paying attention to his performance this season?
I mean, Houdini looked weak early in the season and then became stronger, but ultimately I think that Houdini's breadth of performances was slightly above average at best. And I think that when you have question mark players, I think that those players can really just lose to anyone.
Yep. Yeah, that's pretty much what I feel. You don't really Houdini literally went on a 4-game losing streak to start the season, followed by a 4-game winning streak. So you really have no idea what you're getting out of him.
And then we saw a bunch of nail biters, some great matchups coming from Sephiroth, and I know he just changed his name, and now I can't think about it. He even made a post about how he just changed his name to Arcturus. Who is that?
There it is.
Eridan, thank you. I didn't get to see this one, but I heard this one was a really good match to watch. The Arcane THL Dire Spare. Did that not end up being a Salty Saturday matchup?
No, I don't think so.
I remember following along with this somewhere though. There's updates being posted about that one, or maybe they were trying to get it streamed or whatever. I got the play-by-play from somebody.
Yeah, they were get it streamed. They couldn't get it streamed.
So that one ends up being a nail biter. I heard both sides played well there, and Gemini gets the win over Slime Guy, which we kind of saw coming. But in the end, it was not enough as the 13-13 tiebreaker goes to the side that wins the most individual matches in the team matchup. So Parallax walks away with the 3-2 victory by tiebreaker. Moving forward, but I definitely want to give kudos to Initium Novum for coming out there and fighting to the bitter end. And honestly, it's a 1 point difference and something to build off of next season should those folks want to stay together and push forward together. Good at you, mate. So, yeah, I just went there. Let's move forward and pretend that never happened. Sorry, I spent like half an hour talking to a South African guy that was from Australia. It was really confusing. So this matchup, this was like we had two potential championship hopefuls going at it, and Aeon being, I believe all of us picked Aeon to make it all the way through in our pick'em. So Entropy goes head to head with Aeon, and Aeon gets the win. D Lyman, can you give us your perspective from the inside on how this one played out?
Well, Entropy was an overperforming, slightly above average team, and they went up against a good team, and Entropy got their asses beat.
I don't know who put this comment in the document, so I don't want to be the one to ask it because it wasn't me.
Oh no, that was me.
Okay.
No, I put that. Yeah, we should have won in the 4 seed. We didn't. We needed to win in the 4 seed. We weren't really expecting to win in the 3 and 5 seeds, but we were hoping to steal one out of the 1 and the 2. Oh no, we weren't expecting to win in the 2 seed. That's what it was. But we were expecting to get one out of the 1 or the 3, and we just didn't. So.
I think I slightly understand that meme now. I still don't fully. Some folks, your meme game is a little too confusing. You need to dumb it down for folks like me. Mange, as somebody who played in pink and blue this season, when you see Aeon and Entropy going at and Aeon coming out on top like this, is this kind of what you guys experienced during the regular season? Do you share D Lyman's analysis on this thing? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that going into the playoffs, I thought Aeon was the strongest team by a pretty big margin. And I did think that Entropy had a chance to knock them off because they had some good matchups in the 4 seed, the 3 seed, and I think the 5 seed, honestly. And it just didn't really work out for them in that way. So I'm not surprised at all about Aeon winning. I'd be very surprised if they lost for the rest of the playoffs.
Yeah, we did pick them last week unanimously to kind of ride this thing out. So no shocker there in taking out big names. Perhaps, maybe, I don't know. I don't want to unfairly call this, but for me personally, this is one of the biggest surprises of the week was the Harry Generals getting that wild card spot, playing Gatekeeper, and then going up toe-to-toe with Supreme and coming away with the victory here. What was your guys' take on it?
I can't remember who I picked last week. Feels like. Yeah, tell me.
I'll pull it up as you continue to speak, but I think you might have gone the Harry Generals here.
Because this isn't too much of a surprise, mainly because again we've talked about this all season. I mean, Detective Diamonds had a strong season, but ultimately, those are where the liabilities are for Supreme. I think we would have expected Detective Diamond to take it home against Bork, and he did. But unfortunately, um, the losses in the 1 and the 3 seeds were really backbreaking for Supreme. Jedi Ninja just came in real strong and clinched that series for the Harry Generals in a matchup where he was heavily unfavored. Like Markshire beating Slim isn't too, that match can go either way. Chigmo and Cheesy 10, like those are two strong players, but we expected Cheesy 10 to win. But Jedi Ninja getting the win over MV Parker and pushing them to that 13-12 win is crazy.
Yeah, that was definitely a result that shocked me, seeing the Jedi MV Parker. I just want to know, and maybe Parker could tell us in chat, did he rope you? Because I know that that's like a known meta in the anti-Parker world. D Lyman, for confirmation, you did. We all of us went Supreme on that one.
Oof, rough.
Yep, yep. I do recall you flip flopping a little bit there before you made the decision and tossing that back and forth. Um, Mange, sir.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was you dying. I'm sorry, I was so lost in looking up D Lyman's pick from last week. Did I give you your chance for input on this one yet?
Supreme choked.
Wow.
Big choke.
Wow.
Specifically, Parker choked the most. I think D Lyman covered it earlier. That was the matchup that Supreme was favored in by the greatest amount. But yeah, I don't know. Basically, 2 out of your 3 top 3 seeds can't lose if you're Supreme, and they did. They did the worst time, so they out.
Yep.
So that brought us down to the yellow division, and perhaps the dumbest pick of the week, as Hearthstone Academy faced off against NWA, and I gave NWA the nod on this one.
Yeah, I know what you were thinking. Hearthstone Academy is full of studs.
Apparently, I was sober, because if I was drunk, I would have picked NWA. Tell us a little bit more about the studs over at Hearthstone Academy there, D. Lyman.
Well, I'll tell you what, Brewski and me, myself, and I are nothing to mess with. Those are that might be outside of possibly Kungmar and Top Hat Demon over at Aeon. That might be the strongest 1-2 punch in the league based on what we saw this season. If we're going to use one season as a sample size, and they came out to play against a strong Tony Montana in the 1 seed, and a Pink Samus who, if I'm not mistaken, has had a pretty strong season as well. And they dunked all over him. Besides that, JB has also had an incredibly strong season. Continued it. Sage, when he submits classes, gets his wins, and he did that. I don't recall following much of Scritch's performance, but he did lose to Dreaded. But yeah, that was their only loss this week and the strongest win this week outside of Aeon.
Yeah, once again, my analysis is I must have been sober when I made this pick. I honestly thought there was a few spots where I had faith in Tony Montana to squeak something out there. I know Brewski's been a stud. I thought Force of Will could pull something off, and I thought that Drudded was going to lock it up. And when I looked at it, I thought that between the 1 and 3 seed there, if you're asking one of those guys to win, I thought they could do it. The moral of that story is I thought wrong, which happens often. Mange? Great input, Mange. I think we lost him. We did. Oh,
Right.
no. Hopefully he'll pick back up at some point. Was that all the matchups? Did I actually successfully do this?
You got there. Well, is Mange back?
I don't know. Yeah, he might
You guys
be.
hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, I disconnected. What were we talking about?
I just wanted to know if you had any input on Hearthstone Academy and NWA and my inability to see clearly.
Hearthstone Academy whooped that ass. I thought that they'd whoop that ass, and they did. I'm okay. I'm pretty surprised that Sage won over Force of Will, but other than that, those don't surprise me. There's quite a few 5-game series though, so it could have flipped the other way. But Hearthstone Academy's good. They're a top-heavy team.
Yep. Look at that. Look at those top-heavy teams, Aeon and Hearthstone Academy.
Hey, that question's coming up later. Hold on, guys. That's why I didn't talk about it earlier. So that leads us to our semifinals and maybe some matchups that one matchup I think that most of us saw coming and one that I hadn't considered because I didn't think it was going to happen. So let's get to that one first. Semifinal sees the Harry Generals going up against Aeon. Um, D Lyman, you got notes here, so why don't we start off with your lovely notes?
Listen, well, I'll tell you what. Pretty confident that Aeon's going to win, but God, I hope the Harry Generals win.
Okay.
Because the Harry Generals they're just cool dudes. Aeon, not a lot of cool dudes. So I'm a fan of the Harry Generals. I'm Team THG, but I'm gonna pick Aeon in this one because they're just favorite top to bottom all over the place.
Mange.
Literally that exactly. I really want Harry Generals to win. They've been around, obviously since season alpha. They really are. They're like THL's team, right? They're like the Cowboys. But Aeon is really strong. They are a machine, and like I said earlier, I don't expect them to lose again for the rest of the season. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick Aeon.
So I do want to rebuttal to D Lyman's comment of top to bottom. I just want to know, and I'm not challenging. I just want clarification. You think that Donnie takes down Bork?
I think that Donnie takes down Gurn Blanston.
He's not going up against Garen Blanston.
Whoa.
Donnie's going up against Bork.
Yeah, Bork's now the 5 seed.
Oh, I see. All right, never mind. Okay, I don't think they're favorite top to bottom anymore. But yeah, I still think that they're favored. Actually, yeah, I still think they're favored in all the matches except for Donnie's match.
Well,
that's
let's see if
favorite.
Jedi could pull it off 2 weeks in a row there. I think that the Harry Generals get one or two out of here, but that's just because I want to believe that. And who knows, man? Maybe they win one for the Gippa, and the Visionary comes through and pulls off a second big win. That still would leave them, in my opinion, that would still leave them needing a win in the 1, 2, or 4.
Yeah. Honestly, fuck it. Aeon sweeps. Like Donnie and Bork are both bad enough that it could. Donnie and Bork are both bad enough that it could really go either way. So fuck it. I'm predict a sweep.
I like Donnie here too. Donnie, I think, is having a season that no one expected, which is, I think, just 500, maybe a little bit over 500, but he's hot. And despite losing the crack shot, he's gonna roll.
All right, so he hasn't submitted classes yet, and that concerns me, but we'll see.
And he's got 4 hours.
That's right, there is the extension now to midnight. But
3.5 hours.
so then there's the matchup I think we all kind of saw coming out of the yellow side. Hearthstone Academy and Parallax. Strongly seems to lean one way, but I've started with D Lyman all night. Let's start with Mange on this one.
Yeah, fucking start with me.
I'm sorry, man. It's just D Lyman has his notes in the document, so it's so easy to be like, D Lyman, talk about that thing. So let's hear Mange's thoughts first.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and let you know that I did not open documents this week, and I still don't have it open. I don't know what he wrote, but yeah, I think they played in the regular season, and Parallax won one match and ended up winning the game because there were some DQs going on, and ended up had that situation where two of their side had the win, but the rest of the team did well enough to get the point. I really like Hearthstone Academy. They've been on a roll pretty much the entire season. Sage, after starting super slow as a 4 seed, has really turned it on. I think that they can't be beat. And Parallax, on the other hand, they closed out the regular season with 2 losses, and then took a really, really, really tight one against Initial Novum, and a match that shouldn't have been that tight, to be honest. So I think Parallax is done. You shut them out. Hearthstone Academy, all the way.
D Lyman, your take?
Yeah, I think they're coming in for another 17-point week. Honestly, I think that Brewski beats Super Sam. I think me, myself, and I beat Houdini. I think JB wins. I think Sage wins, and I don't know that much about Scritch. So that's the only reason why I'm not willing to go straight 20. But
yeah,
I think that Hearthstone Academy is not going to be stopped by Parallax, not one bit.
I think that Gemini squeaks out the win down there in the 5 seed, but outside of that, I have to agree. I think that every other position goes to Hearthstone Academy.
They're
So
gonna
that
teach us. They're gonna teach us a lesson.
so that brings us to the potential championship matchup of Aeon and Hearthstone Academy, right? So is that where we're going with for
If
you,
we're
D Lyman?
unanimously going there, I would say so. Yeah.
Yes.
Mage the same.
Yes.
All right, so I think all of us lean that way, which is no fun because there's nobody to be wrong. I will compile. I forgot to compile like the last 2 weeks of the regular season and the entire playoffs. When we left off, D Lyman and I were tied, and Mange was one game behind us in the overall pick'em total.
That's funny considering that I've missed like 2 weeks.
Well, so I mean, it's actually funny. It's a lot like the article. I don't know if anybody read it. Power rankings by the numbers. It's a case of D Lyman missed a week, but still has the same percentage as.
Didn't some of the guests pick for D Lyman?
Actually, yes, they did, and they did better than both of us that week. Means the guest that picked for him.
Good work. See,
Um,
see, my sub did some work.
Yeah,
Damn
so and then there was Lemur. Lemur just fucking sucked. He did. I think he got one right.
The guy.
So we'll have those totals for you guys with the championship edition next week. Seeing as there's only going to be 5 total matchups to talk about, we can give you those totals, and the winner could have their soapbox to talk about why the rest of us are idiots. Our Q&A segment actually had a good question that I forgot to copy and paste, and now I need to find again. There it is. I don't know if it was a good question. It had a question. This one's coming from Mark Shire. And I know that this actually brought up some conversations about the definition of top heavy, which you can feel free to comment on as well. So Mark Shire asked, with Supreme and Entropy, 2 typically top-heavy teams losing in the quarterfinals, how does this affect the way that captains will choose to build their teams in the future? Did the Supreme strategy die off with Dear Jason? How viable is building your team around 3 500 PR players?
So the first thing I'll add to that is that he gave Entropy as an example of a top-heavy team. I do not believe that they are a top-heavy team because if you look at their PR now, they have 2 players over 400, one of them at like 401. They have a 1 seed under 450 PR. And if you looked at them at the beginning of the season, they were actually below average in the 1 and 2 seeds for PR and exactly average at the 3 seed. So they are not a top-heavy team. As far as if a top-heavy team can win, of course it can. But you have to find exceptional value out of the 4 and 5 seeds. You have to find guys like Rogue JT last season, guys like Detective Diamond this season. I believe Bedney was on Supreme when they went with that strategy 3 seasons ago. And Bedney performed very well in the 4 seed when he wasn't DQing at the internet cafe. So yeah, it can definitely work for sure. It's just like building any any other team. You have to find guys that are undercosted for their actual skill level, or coach them up.
D Lyman?
Yeah, I think that the premise behind the question was inherently false because the PR was not focused into the top 3 seeds. Also, I think that that when you look at the teams that are left, Aeon and Hearthstone Academy are clearly top heavy and succeeding very, very well. So obviously, yeah, the strategy is still working. Entropy lost to a team that was top heavy. So yeah, I think that that is still I think really what it comes down to is it's not necessarily a top heavy strategy. It is just really finding imbalanced seeds.
Yeah.
And that's really what Entropy tried to do, right? It's like we tried to have an unbalanced 3 and 4 seed, and then steal wins in the 1 and 2 seeds, right? And it worked out to get to the playoffs. I mean, obviously the seed shifted, and then we ended up with a 4 seed that kept losing, but that was the strategy that worked. and the difference with the Supreme strategy, the Aeon Harry Generals and old Supreme strategy is that they found those imbalances at the top two instead. So I think it's
Yeah.
a good strategy.
I really firmly believe that you can win with a number of different team constructions and ideas. But like Johannes said, you just have to find the guy that costs less than his actual skill level. Whether you're paying 300 for him and he's a 450 player, or whether you're paying 100 for him and he's a 250 player. Just that's pretty much the key to every team that wins.
Yeah. So I would like to make one comment. I'm seeing it pop up in chat now as I went back and looked. Hearthstone Academy at the beginning of the season had a 467 one seed and two lower 400 seeds in the 2 and 3. Actually, as overall, as you look at the league, Hearthstone Academy's 2 seed was about 10 points lower than the vast majority of 2 seeds that they'd be up against, with some being even higher than that. And then there was the odd case of Zapgar playing at 203 in the 2 seed. We won't talk about that. But to the point of the top heavy team, and to echo what these guys said, I think the real key is to find that value for a 5 seed player. I think you need to find somebody like a Rogue JT, as Mange said, who the only reason his PR was so low is straight up he didn't play Hearthstone. He had the mind you need to play Hearthstone. And Mange, I believe you actually talked to him. I know it was HOTS related, but you knew him for a while before you invited him onto the team, right?
Yeah. I had talked to him about HOTS, and I had talked to him about how he approached the game and how he was very analytical about it. And when I found out that he was playing Hearthstone and Qs at rank 18, I'm like, okay, yeah, we need to get you playing seriously because you're not an idiot. You're a very intelligent kid. You'd be able to win. So,
yeah, so there's got to be some scouting behind it, right? You can't just go out there. I know that there's been folks who literally go with let me find the lowest PR I can and we'll teach them how not to suck. I think there needs to be a vetting and screening process if you're going to go with those top-heavy teams, or find somebody that's been in the league for a while. Like, for instance, let's use a Druided example. The guy, yeah, you might go, he's been in the league for X amount of seasons and he's only at this PR. Dude started with 40 for a PR. So obviously he's continuously improved in his time in the league. So somebody of that nature, I still think the model can work. The top heavy model of 3 guys at 500 or 2 guys at 500 and a 450, as long as you really put the time and effort into finding those lower seeds. So pretty much exactly what these 2 guys just said. Or you could just get good. That's also good advice there. I will not answer this trap of a question. I was about to ask Smoke Salmon's question, then I realized how loaded that is. But Salmon, I just want you to know I read it. And no, I will not ask the question about you asking a question just to get your name mentioned on the air or whatever that copy pasta is. So I think that's Q&A time, guys. All right. Next up is the memes, folks.
Oh boy.
There's only one this week. I myself did not create one. It was a good. I'm not gonna lie, it's a good one, guys. Hold on a second. Before I put it into the chat, I gotta send it to you guys so you can see it. So you're not shocked there. All right. Production value. Here we go. The meme of the week. Sweeping every week, taking every trophy home. If he entered, he won. Mr. Inbulk with the THL Times. I would have gone even fuller screen, guys, but he made it this way.
Oh my god.
well, he's really not wrong.
Oh my god.
Oh my! I need one of these every week. I need a weekly segment that's posted here.
Can't wait for issue 2.
THL Times. Holy shit.
Oh, man.
And then they shot at Rogue.
He took shots at everybody, man.
With old HOTS player. Oh, fuck. Oh, my God. This is so good.
Imbo, can you link them the Imgur thing so that people can get a copy of it themselves if they want to? The actual article, guys, has no text. If you're thinking that's all blurry on the left side, it's there for flavor. This was great, man. I'm glad these guys laughed because I laughed too when I opened this one up. Brian, this I might go out on a limb and say this was Brian's best work. I mean, him and Jesus' PR was pretty good.
Man.
But this everybody could relate to. Everybody could relate to this.
I really need one of these every week.
Oh man. All right. So I don't know if Brian heard me. Brian, if you feel like sharing your amazing work, I know there's a few people that want this. You should link it. That's what I'm saying, Sage. Is I'm trying to get Brian to link the. You know what? Fuck it. He sent it to me. It's now part of the. What's that thing? That law, intellectual something or other. Intellectual, the fucking word that means that if they create it and put it out for the masses, anybody can use it. There it is, guys.
Property?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. I'm dumb. In case you haven't figured that out yet.
Oh my goodness.
So on the topic of I'm dumb, we got PSAs board. Any PSAs from the board?
No.
Right? Elections are soon.
Elections are soon. Is the board's PSA?
Board spot. You should go to teamhearthleague.com and you should click on help. Or actually, you should click on board post because that's the thing now.
Yep.
And you should find the meeting minutes that has all of the roles displayed and their what they do, their how they function, and you should Oh, okay. Oh, D Lyman just went off.
Yeah, D Lyman just killed my ears and walked away.
Just like sprinted off screen. I hope everything's okay. But yeah. Run for board position.
And my final PSA, guys, is next week, Tavern Talk Championship Edition. We'll be talking about the finals. It'll also be the farewell to Jack Sox. Next week will be my last episode of Tavern Talk, so please be here to be part of the finals hype and to say goodbye one last time.
Wait, really?
Yeah, man. I'm. Next week should be. Next week.
Gotta stay one more week for the awards.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think next week's it. I think that's all she wrote.
I think it'll be around one more week for awards.
Yeah.
So, awesome. Anyways, folks, we will be here same bat time, same bat channel next week. Talk about the championships, hyping that up. A new flag is a little under 2 weeks away from flying, folks. So let's see if the Dallas Cowboys of Team Hearth League can win it, or if we get educated by some sort of academy. I can't come up with any more puns. They're gonna teach us things. Let's be honest, none of us are constipated, so we know that they're not in the conversation, or if Aeons will rise above all. All right, folks. Parting thoughts for the evening. D. Lyman.
No.
No. Okay. Mage.
Hold on, I have to look this up real quick.
Uh-oh.
Wait, D Lyman, what's your board title?
Director of Operations.
Guys, vote for me for Director of Operations.
Vote for me. He stands for me.
And I don't know his title.
It's fine. Vote for Mange.
Vote for Mange.
Everyone else run for commissioner. We got to take down the evil 500 PR overlord Slimsh.
All right, guys. We'll see you all next week. Until then, bye.